States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2025 reorganizational meeting. Let the record reflect that all trustees are present, as well as the fiscal officer, and Mr. Wright's in attendance with us today. I'll get right into it. But basically, this is to reform our government for 2025. So at this point, I will entertain a motion and a second for the chairperson appointment of the Board of Trustees for 2025.
Mr. Campbell, I would like to nominate Mr. Logue for that position.
A second.
Roll call, Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Logue,
Yes.
Mr. Dills.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
At this time, I'd entertain a motion and a second to appoint a new vice chairman for the Board of Trustees for 2025.
I'd like to make the motion to appoint Mr. Dills as vice chairman for 2025.
I'd like to second that.
Roll call. Mr. Logue,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Dills.
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 2 is establishing the meeting dates and time for for our trustees meeting. So entertain a motion and a second that the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees be held during calendar year 2025 on the second Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. for the regular business meeting, and additionally authorizing the Township Administrator to coordinate and schedule work session meetings on the fourth Tuesday of each month during the calendar year 2025 to occur at 6 p.m. on an as-needed basis. Subject to proper requirements, subject to the board meeting and special session as noticed by rule as required by the ORC, or by posting the notice on the website, signs, or other social media, and providing specific notice to news media requesting such notice not less than 24 hours before the start of a special meeting, and any other requesting electronic notice as soon as reasonably permissible. Notwithstanding the above, in February of 2025, the February 2025 Board of Regular Trustees meeting will be held on Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. due to a scheduling conflict. And in November of 2025, the November 2025 Board of Trustees regular business meeting will be held on Tuesday, November the 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. due to the scheduling conflict with the observance of Veterans Day. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 3 is the advance of tax resolution. This will be our first resolution of the year. And this basically lets us collect our advance of taxes as they come in instead of the two times a year we get them as they come in. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-01, the tax advance resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 4, meeting room policies. I entertain a motion and a second that all rules and regulations as to the meeting rooms remain in force as established in the Union Township Facilities Reservation Policy, which was revised on May the 12th, 2016, and any further addendums thereto adopted by the Board of Trustees at the May 12th, 2016 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 5, compensation of Rural Zoning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals. I entertain a motion and a second that compensation for the Zoning Commission and Board of Appeals members be compensated at $250 per meeting, Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 6, Law Director Compensation. I entertain a motion and a second that the compensation for the Union Township Law Director be $280 per hour effective January the 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 7, Payment of Bills. I entertain a motion and a second that the board, to be consistent with the existing accounting procedure, require that bills submitted for payment be delivered to the fiscal office for processing and payment not later than 3 p.m. of the Tuesday of each week for payment during the same week.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 8, cemetery fees. I entertain a motion and a second that all cemetery fees be as established in the revised Mount Moriah fee schedule that were in existence as of December 31st, 2024, and to further allow all full-time township employees in good standing to receive the same pricing benefits as township residents.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 9, 2025 Planning and Zoning Department fees. I'll entertain a motion and a second that the board continue the schedule of fees and charges for the administration and enforcement of the zoning resolution and the associated permitting process as the fees and charges were established on December 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 10 is transfers. I'll entertain a motion and a second to authorize the fiscal officer to make all necessary inter-fund transfers during the fiscal year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 11, travel and meal expense reimbursements. I entertain a motion and a second to approve the attendance and reimbursement of all expenses related to seminars, conventions, conferences, and training exercises for the Board of Trustees and the fiscal officer, including but not limited to the Ohio Township Association annual and quarterly meetings, accreditation meetings, conferences, award ceremonies for the police, fire, service, zoning, fiscal, UTTV, or administrative divisions, and appointed zoning commission and board of zoning appeals members, which seminars, conventions, conferences, and training exercises are related to the operation of the township. Elected or appointed positions consistent with the Union Township Policy Manual.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. To entertain a motion is second that the maximum meal allowance for employees shall be an average of $95 per day of qualifying event unless otherwise authorized by the township administrator.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
And Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 12 is mileage reimbursement. I entertain a motion and a second that the vehicle reimbursement be the maximum IRS allowance rate for the calendar year 2025, not to include township-owned vehicles driven by township employees.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 13 is township inventory. I'll entertain a motion and a second to establish an inventory procedure to include only township-owned property with a fair market value greater than $1,000 and not to include titled or registered property.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 14 is competitive bidding. Entertain a motion and a second that all bids be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 9.312.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
And Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 15 is contract approvals. Entertain a motion and a second to authorize the Township Administrator to execute contracts and represent the Board of Trustees as directed by the Board.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 16, purchase order and contract approvals for amounts of $15,000 or less. Entertain a motion and a second to authorize the Township Administrator to expend funds and to authorize the Township Administrator to execute contracts and represent the Board of Trustees for services including, but not limited to meals and incidentals, not to exceed $15,000 per incident unless otherwise authorized by purchase order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 17 is appointments to the Zoning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. I entertain a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Daniel Campbell to the Union Township Zoning Commission for a term expiring 12/31/2029.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. I entertain a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Doug Smith as an alternate to the Union Township Zoning Commission for calendar year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Entertain a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Bradley Toft as an alternate to the Union Township Zoning Commission for calendar year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Entertain a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Brian Ford to the Union Township Board of Zoning Appeals for the term expiring on 12/31/2029.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
So moved. Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Entertain a motion and a second to appoint Gerald Beckman, Mr. Gerald Beckman, as an alternate to the Union Township Board of Zoning Appeals for calendar year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, I would entertain a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Jamie Brescall as an alternate to the Union Township Zoning Board of Appeals for calendar year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 18, appointments to the Parks and Recreation Committee. I will entertain a motion and a second to reappoint Rich Glisson to a 2-year term on the Union Township Parks and Recreation Committee expiring on 12/31/2026.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. I entertain a motion and a second to reappoint Ms. Joy Lytle to a 2-year term on the Union Township Parks and Recreation Committee expiring on 12/31/2026.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 19, appointment of part-time and/or co-op student personnel. Will entertain a motion and a second to authorize the Township Administrator to hire various part-time administrative employees, part-time post office employees, part-time summer help employees, and/or co-op students on a continuing as-needed basis at the same rate as applied on 12/31/2024 in order to fill internship positions or other vacant part-time positions within Union Township for various departments.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 20, Union Township part-time summer help compensation. We'll entertain a motion and a second to establish that for calendar year 2025, be at the same rate as applied on 12/31/2024 for all part-time administrative, post office, or summer help employees unless otherwise increased by the board via resolution adopted during the calendar year of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
And Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 21, approval of purchase orders submitted for January the 2nd, 2025. At this time, we have none.
You don't need a motion.
So I don't need a motion. Thank you. Article 22 is trustee compensation. I'll entertain a motion and a second to establish that the annual compensation of the township trustees shall be fixed at $25,601.94 for Mr. Dills, Mr. Becker, and Mr. Logue, as provided in section 505.24 inclusive of the Ohio Revised Code, and said compensation shall be paid in equal amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
And Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 23, fiscal officer compensation. I will entertain a motion and a second to establish that the annual compensation of the township fiscal officer shall be fixed at $35,075.82 as provided in section 507.09 inclusive of the Ohio Revised Code, effective commencing on January the 1st, 2025, and said compensation shall be paid in equal amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 24 is meeting decorum. I'll entertain a motion and a second to permit the township meeting decorum to follow Robert's Rules of Order, subject to meeting rules for Township Board of Trustees as adopted on December the 13th, 2022, and any further addendums thereto.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
And Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries. Article 25, appointment to Claremont County Tax Incentive Review Committee. I'd like to entertain a nomination, and then we'll make a motion and a second to whoever you want to appoint to represent the township trustee and Mr. Corey Wright as the township administrative representative to Claremont County Tax Incentive Review Committee.
Mr. Becker, you like to do that?
Who's been doing this in the past? I've been me?
You're the tax guy. I just figured.
I'll do it, yes.
I'll nominate Mr. Becker.
Okay.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Mike?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Roll call. Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
And Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Is there anything else to come before the board?
I don't think so. I think we're okay.
Okay. Article 26, meeting to adjourn. I'll entertain a motion in a second. Move to adjourn the 2025 reorganizational meeting at 9:19 a.m.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
We are adjourned.
Mr. Campbell, good job.